crystal chant and sacred flame. We rise in love. We shed all shame. Truth train tribe. In light we stand. Peace and unity across the so it is, so it flows, so it grows.
Welcome, everybody. We are starting a little 15 minutes late here. What is it? 10:17 Eastern, 9:17 Central. It is 10:04. Glad to have everyone here today. This is the anniversary of the EBS. Remember, a couple years back, we had the EBS on 104, and then the 107 came along with the paragliders in Israel, right? Yes. So interesting times.
Definitely.
Fall is here. Weather is amazing. Still a little bit warm here in Texas, but still grateful. We are so grateful for today being able to continue in the fight and doing this work. And we are grateful for you as well and being with us today. So we're going to get started here shortly. Well, first, let me make sure everything's up and running. We got the chats going. Let's get that on the screen right here. All right. The QR code at the top right now is, because it doesn't say, like that is the Rumble QR code. Yeah, Rumble QR code. If you're subscribed to YouTube and you don't like Rumble, you can still go click subscribe at Rumble. You don't have to watch that, but you can still click it as a backup. That way, if anything happens with YouTube, you know how wishy-washy they are, right? They could turn around and take a channel down for a video that was posted last year,
Oh
based
yeah,
on
or a copyright or anything.
right.
On ground.
Loading up a couple things for you here. Let me get my screen opened up here. As you can see, it's just me on the screen. Share screen. And all right, entire. So get your coffee ready or your hot tea. We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna cover multiple different topics, so just bear with me today. We're gonna cover multiple different topics from multiple different platforms or accounts, right? We're gonna be talking about Bitcoin. We're gonna be talking about
Digital ID.
digital ID.
What we're going to be up against.
The world as a stage. We're going to be talking about psyops. We're going to be talking about cosplay. When podcasters put on border patrol uniforms and think they're doing something. We're going to be talking about the shift show and the shit show. Two different things. We have the shutdown, right? Um, the Republicans have all control of all three branches. Um, Republicans control all three branches. We're going to cover that. We're going to cover, let's see what else we got. A little bit of the CK news with the cover up going on. But Crash Patel's not too worried about this cover up. He's more concerned about what people are saying online, which I find interesting. Pivot there, Crash Patel, since you're nearly a year behind on your day one promise.
Which would go into more censorship.
Right. So here we got, this is Thomas Massey. He's saying, the best thing about government shutdowns is no chemtrails.
Hmm.
I don't know. Has anybody noticed anything in the skies in the last few days?
Somebody posted me one yesterday, picture.
Chemtrail?
Well, it looked
Or,
like chemtrails, yeah.
okay. Well, they must not have they must have skipped his area.
But I haven't seen any here.
Well, maybe we can have everyone go out and look.
Right.
Let us know in the chats throughout the day or the rest of the weekend, or going into next week, and let's see if this is the case. I don't like this layout. Let me, yeah, no, there we go. All right. Like my sheepdog said, we're going to be talking about the digital ID. So if you think being treated poorly for being unvaccinated, wait until you refuse the digital ID.
Right. Right.
And we're going to see who
There's
the
not
real.
going to be well, maybe the vaccines will be involved in that. So.
Yeah, you don't want to end up looking like this, guys. All right, we've done too much work
That's right.
for y'all to be 2026 being tested and you don't know what to do or what to say. There's no excuse at this point. This isn't about right versus left. I know. That's what Fox News said. CNN and every other politician. We got to get those Democrats, them damn Republicans. In the meantime, here comes the digital ID. Here comes the Bitcoin, which is a oxymoron because not an oxymoron, but kind of sort of right. You're going to use the word coin to describe something that doesn't exist. That way
It's
you
not
can mine.
tangible.
That way you can trick people into believing that that is the same coin that they're talking about in the Constitution, which is gold and silver coinage only. So call it Bitcoin, right?
Which a dollar was a coin.
Right.
It wasn't a piece of paper.
Now, guys, I know I'm the sheepdog, but I'm tired of waiting for the sheep to wake up. But it's coming, right? Let's not let this be our group photo for our future grandkids when they look back and they say, well, what did your grandparents do? And they show this picture. That's not going to happen,
No.
right? So there that is. If you think being treated poorly for being unvaccinated, wait until you refuse the digital ID. All right. People leave crazy comments on some of these videos. So the lowdown on the digital ID. Let's get that going first. Okay. Here we go. Let's start with the first video of the day. The lowdown of the digital ID. I'll try to keep all this together. I know I got stuff scattered, so we might come back to the digital ID because I missed something. But hopefully we got all the digital ID in order, ready to go on this first go shot. Let's go. Grand Rising, everybody.
Grand Rising.
Love and light and knowledge. Keep your heads up. Sharing the news that isn't. I'm not. We're not sharing to put anyone in fear. We're sharing to empower you and to get you ready for what's coming.
That's
So
right.
that way you're not caught off guard like everyone else that's caught up in this psychological operation that's taking place on the left and the right. Okay? So we thank God for plucking us out of that, lifting the veil, we should say. Thank God for lifting the veil and allowing us to be able to see. So here's the lowdown on digital ID. It is the end game for the elites. This is a game set match, and this is checkmate. All right.
Digital ID. It is the end game for the elites. This is game, set, match. This is checkmate of the elites against us. This is game over. One click, you get denied on anything. This is not just a picture ID, right? This is going to be a face scan, an iris scan, fingerprinting. It's going to hold all of your online activity, your passport, your bank account, your health records, taxes, your travel. I mean, take a look at this clip from Keir Starmer, who announced in the UK about their digital ID.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
I don't know if he can get any more arrogant and pompous with that British accent than he is, but he definitely was a little bit more stern and subdued, didn't have that pep in his step, like maybe, after taking a line or two with Macron on the train, he didn't have the white powder this time, but he has the power to implement that all across the UK, and the UK will be feeling it very soon, very harsh. Digital ID is not in the US yet, but it is almost inevitable that it will come at some point. And so it will have to be mass non-compliance. You will have to create your own networks of people. You will have to try to be, off grid if you can. Digital ID, that is the net. That is the trap for enslavement of the people You will have to think the way they want you to think. You will have to say what they want you to say. George Orwell warned us all about this. Read 1984. All right, this is Big Brother, big time. You step out of line of whatever regime is in power, you're shut down. They'll shut down your bank account. They will shut down your online access. You won't be able to buy or sell. Sound familiar? It is being implemented in different countries: Estonia, Denmark, India, Singapore, Sweden, Australia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Germany, now the UK. It'll eventually come for us. It will come here. The enslavement of the population, this is not hyperbole. When they have full control digitally of everything that you are and that you can do online, they will shut you down when you step out of line. Goodbye freedom of speech. Goodbye freedom of movement. If they pass a law that says you can only have so much meat a week, goodbye ability to buy what you want at the grocery store. This is serious. This isn't doomsday, oh, the sky is falling. No, this is real. This is happening. This will come to us very soon. Pay attention.
We're on it. We are on it, and we have created a network of people.
Right.
We are ahead of the game. We are prepared. We have what it takes. We will accomplish this mission. We will reject the beast.
That's right.
We will resist the beast.
And it will take every one of us.
That's it. Ain't nobody touching my grandma. Ain't nobody, you know what? Whatever happened during COVID with that whole arresting grandmothers for not wearing masks and building shit, that's not happening again. Hope you know that. Slamming grandmothers on the ground because they didn't wear a mask inside of a building. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Right? Which you might want to wear one now because those masks obscure facial recognition.
All right. So this is, again, if you think being treated poorly or being unvaccinated, wait until you refuse the digital ID. Then the claws are going to come out, ain't they?
Yeah.
And then the American people are going to have to let off a roar like they'd never let off before in their lives.
That's right.
No retreat, no surrender. So there's the digital. So we covered that. Let's go to, we're about to flip the script, guys. We're about to flip the script.
Do you guys get it yet? Still trying to figure out why you're awake? Your life's purpose is about to unfold. This movie is about to get really good. But before those credits begin to roll, it's gonna get wild. The script is about to flip, and you've got work to do. So stay in that unconditional love and absolutely no fear. Do you guys get it yet? Still trying to figure
Stay in that unconditional love. Right? I love telling them double where to stick it. You got to do what you love and love what you do. All right, so you got the Bitcoin thing ready for the from Reawakening Minds?
Waking up to the Matrix is one thing, but actually living in it after you've already woken up, that is the part that nobody talks about. Once you see it for what it is, the media, the politics, the money, the school system, even our food and medicine, you cannot unsee that. You realize how fake and rigged so much of it is, but the hardest part is that you still have to play the game. You still got to show up in the system even though you know it's all fake. And that's fucking exhausting. It's like your soul knows you're part of something bigger, like something higher. You're stuck navigating through this simulation. Yeah, we could run off to the woods and isolate. I mean, honestly, I'd love to do that, but that's not real life either. If you're going through this too, drop a comment, but just know that you're not alone. There are a lot of us waking up. I've been woke for a few years, but I'm still figuring out how to exist in this. Waking up to the Matrix is one thing, but actually living in it after you've already woken up, that is the part that nobody talks
That's the part that nobody talks about, right?
Yeah.
about. Once you see it for what it is, the media, the politics, the money, the school.
That's it. I'm playing it again. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. All right. So you're not alone. No, there's a lot of people that we spoke with yesterday in the chats who are feeling alone. A lot of friends have turned their backs on them and said some mean, ugly things to them. But we just want to reiterate that your tribe is here, and don't worry about that. Along the journey and the pain and stuff like that, just celebrate the fact that you made it, right?
That's right.
And that you're surrounded by people that have, you know, like-minded people,
Right.
right?
That care.
People that actually care about helping others.
That's right.
So, we can't replace Mike, but we can damn sure try to we're not going to drop the ball and allow you know everyone that has followed Mike over the years down. So just keep your heads up. We got this. But you're fixing to see something real amazing. And it's not coming from the District of Criminals. All right, you got that. So we have the government shutdown, right?
I sent you that.
All right.
Little timelines.
Yeah. Let me go to this different screen here. So we have the government shutdown. Oh, there I am. Let me pull up my window so I'll continue. There we go. Add that back. Y'all got y'all's coffee ready? You little what 1 or 2 cups already, or what? Everybody waking up? Everybody feeling good today?
Yeah.
Oh, I already showed all those. Got a few things to cover. Here we go. Where is it at? Yeah, no, I'm going to get to that. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Here we go. All right. Oh, let me add it. There we go. Add screen. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's get this started. All right, what it means now that controls all 3 branches of government. So when they say it was a Democrats or Schumer shutdown, how is that possible? How is it possible that Schumer shut down the government, right? How is it possible the Democrats shut it down? If you control all 3 branches of government, the Republicans, right? And then you have the propaganda from the GOP. Welcome to day 3 of the Democrats keeping the government shut down. damn, the Democrats have that much power, and y'all got control over all three branches. How is that possible? There's got to be something else going on here, right? We're gonna get to that. So day 3 of the government shutdown, because they care more about giving illegal aliens health care than our soldiers a paycheck. Don't use the soldiers as a
Well,
pawn or a tool.
first of all, don't get health care. Right?
Right.
That's all
Propaganda.
propaganda.
But here's the real reason. All right, we're gonna get to that. Let's share that screen. Here we go. A lot of screen flipping. I don't know why they just don't let me. One quick button just. There we go. All right, there we go. So this is what's going on. Holy boom. GPQ said he doesn't need approval, no Congress, and no approval. We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them, whoever them is, and irreversible by them, whoever them is. Like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like, and all the Russell Vought. He's become a very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So we're gonna hear this is coming out of Trump's mouth. Okay, let's see what Trump says about the shutdown.
Like cutting vast numbers.
So they're taking advantage of the shutdown. They shut it down, and in return, it's like a loophole type thing. They figured out a way to maybe trim some fat, and then blame it on the Democrats for shutting down the government. In the meantime,
Well, because it's falling anyway.
right.
The dollar's not worth anything. So everything, they're blaming it on somebody else, but actually it's falling on its own. So they have to make it look like one thing when it's actually
Another.
another.
There you go. That's my point.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them. Like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like. And you all know Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that.
There you go. Did y'all see?
We can do things during the shutdown
Pause in the
that
back.
are irreversible.
Is that Oz in the back?
His
What
hair
happened?
got white.
What happened to his hair in the last 60 days? He went totally gray. All right, so this could be a good thing, right? Cutting some stuff, trimming some of that fat. That way, when they release some funds to the people, they'll have it, right?
Yes, and that will be talked about in that video
Okay.
about
You want
the funds,
to? Okay.
what's actually going to take place.
Awesome. So as you can see, the whole thing with the GOP released, talking about the Democrats shut down the government. Well, that's now we see something a little different here. That it's actually the shutdown is being taken advantage of, and maybe in a positive way, or somebody found a loophole or some other way of trimming some fat. But we'll see. Just wanted to play that real quick. Let's continue. I'm not gonna do the cosplay thing. We'll do this, and then we'll.
Did you play that guy?
This.
Pass.
No, I haven't played none of
Okay.
it. I'm picking and choosing right now.
To hear this. Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if everybody's starting to say you control everything, and then you take control of TikTok and then ban and censor people who are saying you control everything, demonstrating that you kind of control everything, it's not gonna help with the perception, is what I'm trying to tell you, buddy. Probably not a great idea to host a social media like roundtable discussion and talk about how it's like a great weapon either. Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but
What's he
if
hiding?
everybody's starting to say you control everything,
Why'd he have to go take us inside the shed and tell us this? All right, let's pull up the Bitcoin thing, the financial piece, real quick. Let's, oh, that's going to go on YouTube, huh? All right, let's go to that. Where's it at? Oh, the parallel timelines. Second, yeah. Let's bring that over here. All right. So this was last night. Official House of Reawakening Minds, Dr. G and Taj Tariq. I think this is about where you.
Because creating fear is profitable for them. Fear justifies military activities, military spending, military disruption. In other words, they create the problem and then rob the people with a promise to fix the problem. Then they expand on the problem. And so fear is used to justify more control. And that artificial fear created by the owners of the United States Corporation Company, etc. And y'all need to look up the last registration of the United States Corporation Company, because there's 3 owners and they all happen to be calling themselves something that they're not. And people think it's a country. So it keeps you from recognizing that the real war is already here. It's been here and just simply never ended. It's just been continuing, and they keep changing the name after generations. People think it's new stuff. So the economic, social, political, land, and human trafficking war. That's what it is. And so the war is against yourself, your biology, your genealogy, and against your pocket, against your pantry, and against your natural right of power, self-power, and against all laborers. Yield floor on that one, Dr. J.
Well, you know, people are saying I can't afford gas. They can't afford rent. I'm gonna say they, because I'm not gonna make that confession, but you know, insurance is killing them.
Can I interject something right there?
Sure.
I bet you that area that they created, right, after the Balfour Agreement and stuff, I bet you they can afford it. I bet you they can afford new planes, new cars, new jets, new yachts, bank accounts with multiple zeros, whether they're on that side or in Brooklyn, and all of it stolen from you. I bet you they not thinking about gas.
I saw a
You better wake up.
TikTok video on YouTube. It was a reaction video, and it was just a whole succession of Europeans, modern Europeans, complaining about that. There were no melanated people in the video, and they were all crying about the cost of, you know, like I said, gas and food and insurance and so forth. And you know, people, while they vented about it on TikTok and YouTube, they don't really connect it, I don't think, you know,
yes, they do.
Well, to the deeper reality, deeper reality that this just isn't just
in the public.
It isn't just inflation. This is it's a collapse of the fiat system itself that you've been talking about that was coming, you know, almost ever since I've known you, you know, which is now almost 14 years. So, you know, we discussed this on our last broadcast. What most people call the dollar is not a dollar. It's Federal Reserve note. It's a debt instrument. It's what, you know, it's why it loses value every year. I mean, I was just told by my, you know, my natural hairstylist that her prices were going up like 30 notes. I was like, okay. But I, you know, when after I took my deep breath, I'm thinking, okay, so everybody's on this, but at some level, everybody's affected. So what they used to purchase for, you know, this amount now is taking this amount, and they getting that amount, and so they passing everything down to people.
Now, amount implies measure, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, when you think about measure, I think in terms of when I was growing up, I believe loaf of bread may have been 30 cents or something like that. And it was, you know, nice size. And now it's like $3 to $4 and it's like this size. So the amounts have changed, the prices, but the value to me has not changed. Matter of fact, the value a lot of times has decreased.
The trick of the spell and the difficulty of analysis constantly goes very simple to this. Use common sense. Let's take a child. Difficult. See, we've been trained to adopt hypocrisy as a part of justification in the culture. This is one of the reasons why people can't count. Not because they're really dumb. It's because we don't know that we've adopted a spell. Let's make this common sense. Look, how many bits, B-I-T, are in a coin? Write that down and answer that question. How much does a Bitcoin weigh?
It's the value.
Compare
And here we go. There we go. Sorry about that.
Hey, can y'all hear us now?
Check, check, check.
I mean,
Good to go?
Yeah, they said
Okay.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, it
Let's
went.
continue. This was really good information. We're going to pause periodically over the next 30 minutes and discuss a few things that they talk about, and we're also going to be paying attention to the comments. If you have any comments or anything to say, we're going to put it across the screen, especially if it has something to pertain to what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's important information.
So
So
really
it's
good.
kind of crazy that they started doing that.
Yeah. Okay, so really good information. Please go subscribe if you would like. Official House of Reawakening Minds. And we're going to continue where we left off. Give me 1 second.
I was just told by my, my natural hairstylist that her prices were going up like 30 notes. I was like, okay. But I, when after I took my deep breath, I'm thinking, okay, so everybody's on this at some level, everybody's affected. So what they used to purchase for, this amount now is taking this amount and they getting that amount. And so they passing everything down to people.
Now, amount implies measure, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, when you think about measure, I think in terms of when I was growing up, I believe loaf of bread may have been 30 cents or something like that. And it was, nice size. And now it's like $3 to $4 and it's like this size. So the amounts have changed, the prices, but the value to me has not changed. Matter of fact, the value a lot of times has decreased.
The trick of the spell and the difficulty of analysis constantly.
Right.
Goes very simple to this. Use common sense. Let's take a child. Difficult. See, we've been trained to adopt hypocrisy as a part of justification in the culture. This is one of the reasons why people can't count. Not because they're really dumb. It's because we don't know that we've adopted a spell. Let's make this common sense. Look. How many bits, B-I-T, are in a coin?
All right. How many bits are in a coin? Chat. Anybody in chat? How many bits are in a coin? Anybody know? 25, Lori said. You got 25? Can I get a 25, 25, 30, 30, 30, 35, 34. Can we get a 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, that sucked, but you get the point. How many bits are in a coin?
Write that down and answer that question. How much does a Bitcoin weigh?
It's the value.
Compare that to a dollar. How much does a dollar weigh? How many parts or bits of alloy make that coin? Because a dollar is a coin. Every time you say dollar, you're saying coin. As long as we keep on referring to digital currency operations as the dollar, it stays confusing because we're lying every step of the way. We must stop calling the counterfeit dollar as if it has any measurable value. That's why it can fluctuate, because it has no breadth, it has no depth, it has no width, it has no measure, it has no weight. Therefore, by the day, by the minute, they can tell you anything and it counts because it can't be counted, because it's not a dollar. It's counterfeit. It's counterfeit vouchers, systems, instruments that have no value. They have political fiat claims leaned on it. That's why it fluctuates from day to day, because it's not a dollar. It's not to be measured against the dollar. And as long as they can keep us analyzing or trying to analyze it as a dollar or an amount, they know that we're still under the spell. And they continue to run this false government parallel to reality. That veil must be broken, starting with stop calling the fiat, because fiat is not even the instrument. Fiat is the artificial claim of authority giving it value. That's the fiat. The classification is fiat. The instrumentality is private commercial paper, counterfeit, with a number on it that changes like shape shifting in your face. That's why it appears to change by the day.
Yeah.
And now the whole world knows it. You need to know it here. And so the nations are rejecting the private commercial paper of the Federal Reserve, which belongs to the Vatican. It's an order. The Federal Reserve belongs to the Vatican. Get it through your head. Their instrumentalities are not a dollar. They keep throwing that word out there to cast a spell for you to keep lying and saying you're dealing with dollars. You're not dealing with dollars. You're
All right, you see here I said it's casting a spell.
Yes,
So we're just calling something that it ain't.
they're notes.
Right,
IOU
but
notes, like
Bitcoins.
Lori said. Oh, the Bitcoin is nothing. It's
Right.
it's
They're calling
numbers.
it, but in the name alone is the
Yes.
spell.
Yes. It's not tangible.
Right. Yeah. Take some Bitcoin to a damn. Tip your waiter with a Bitcoin. See how that works out for you. No, I'm just playing. Hold on.
dealing with private commercial paper regulated from the Circle Church and Chantry, British Accredited Registry, Fleet Street, England, directed to Washington, District of the Roman Goddess Columbia, and then distributed under color of law and color of operations to the state of subdivisional corporations, not the organic land, all personating. That's why it fluctuates.
So also what just came out here not too long ago is the new Monopoly game, the digital version.
Yes.
You don't have cash anymore in that Monopoly game. So if you don't
They're
think this
telling
ain't
you.
real,
Yeah.
that keep in mind when Monopoly came out right after 1933,
Right.
right? We've been playing Monopoly ever since,
This is in your face the whole time.
right? So now the go look it up. We'll play it here in a minute. The Monopoly digital, all digital
Game.
board game.
Because it can hold no value. It has no value. It has political operational jurisdiction. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with trafficking. Stop calling it a dollar. It's not a dollar. Dollar is a gold or silver coin by weights and measure. Look it up, children. Jeez. This is why the BRICS nations are trading outside of it. So Africa is rejecting it. Remember, the only reason why it operated before is because of colonial imposition, not because they didn't know what it was. They know what it was. So even the United States Corporation Company, their allies are cutting deals without it. Why? Because they're collapsing. In other words, everybody that helped maintain the fraud, the chickens are coming home to roost, like Il Malik said. That's what's happening. Pardon me. So they're cutting deals without it. And so the petrodollar, which is another fraud, it simply means that they use oil to measure or to translate or to impose upon other countries to accept their counterfeit. Their counterfeit private commercial paper was tagged to the dollar certificate redemption instrument that is tagged to the dollar. The commercial paper has nothing to do with the dollar whatsoever, except that them convince you to keep on calling it a dollar. And as long as you keep calling it a dollar, the spell continues. Not a dollar. And so even their allies are now cutting deals without it. And they call it a petrodollar. Even that's a lie. Because a dollar is a gold coin. So is it an oil dollar? Is a dollar made of oil, or is a dollar made of gold or silver coin? You know, that people they are so contemptuous of humanity that they lie to your face and then start getting you to lie too. So it's losing its grip because it's a grip. It's not a value. It never was a value. It's for bookkeeping purposes only, always was. And when the artificial personating operatives that comprise the so-called empire loses its reserve currency power over other nations, the illusion dies. And the veil is lifted between the parallel illusion and reality. And so therefore it loses its throne, which is an illusion. That's why the throne is always maintained by military. It's always maintained by military. It has no other standing, never did. And that's why we're watching this dismantling in real time. See, because until the people's mind change, the power structure doesn't change. Because the people themselves, the essence of the people, is used metaphysically to empower the Satanist. In other words, he has no power except what we keep giving him. Then we keep claiming his private commercial paper as the dollar, and then we do what? Enslave our own children. We need to stop lying. This is, if you pay attention to, and that's why, again, you need to look at the Clearfield doctrine, because the presenters for the Clearfield case for that bank who was being sued by the United States operatives for a so-called $24 forged check. You know, when they do the report on that law case, they were carefully wording it, but what they're telling you is that the United States corporation has no lawful authority to talk shit to nobody. You might do it to these dumb Negroes who think they Negroes and blacks, which this stuff was designed for, but you ain't getting it off on us. Because it's like Macy's trying to argue with Sears, trying to tell them what they can sell or not. That's what the Clearfield doctrine is technically saying. That's like somebody coming from behind McDonald's, running across the street at Wendy's and telling them they can't sell burgers.
All right, we went over this. Mike went over this as well. All right, Clearfield Doctrine Corporation only exists on paper.
All right.
Right? So what are we scared of? The paper?
Right.
Right?
They're all acting under the color of law. That's it.
Right. So knowledge is power. Right? That's what's going to bring us together right here. The split has occurred, right? It's those that are in the know and those that are out of the know. So be in the know. Keep searching, keep seeking, keep learning.
And then the dumb public think that McDonald's is their government, and they've been funding them. And then they've been sending goons out collecting taxes from them. That's exactly what the Clearfield Doctrine is saying. So I tell people, study the Clearfield Doctrine, because for some reason these people can't get it through their heads that they're not dealing with dollars. And then they keep letting these people tell them talking dollars. You're not talking dollars. You're talking human trafficking, bookkeeping with counterfeit instrumentalities that are liens, counterfeit against the gold and silver certificates, which were removed from public venue, which attached to the dollar. And anything outside of that you call dollar, you're recasting the spell and enslaving your own children and people. Stop calling it a dollar. It's not a dollar. It's private commercial paper or Federal Reserve note. Call it what it is. Stop lying. You know, you can't break. See, the deal is people need to take responsibility that it ain't just a hybrid European that has been contaminating the world. We've been helping them along the way by continuing or adopting their lie. This is why when people get into these IRS cases where the IRS comes up, that's why they lose, because they start talking about dollar and money. And nothing has to do with either one. Anyway, I use the floor again, Doctor.
Well, I know we're coming to the end, but that's why when I was talking to you, I was reminding you that, you know, I can literally live in a parallel timeline, because I can go days, we're going back to what we're watching and what we're absorbing. You know, I can go days without watching TV or without scrolling on, you know, TikTok or the YouTube or whatever. And I'm at peace. Actually, I don't even know what's going on. I feel clear. I feel focused. And the minute you turn, you know, that on, then you're flooded with stuff that, you know, like we talked about earlier, you're bombarded with fear and with scandals and wars and distractions. And you can feel the difference. I can feel the difference, you know, in how I feel in my spirit. And that's how you know that it's deliberate. Because before I heard it, you hear this stuff, you're unaffected. But once it enters your mind, especially with me, it tries to plant anxiety. You know, it tries to plant confusion. And that's when I realized that you can dwell in another world if you don't get caught up in theirs.
You got to stop the lie.
Right.
See?
So you got to, you know, when I had my wake up, when I had my awakening experience, that, you know, when I was Apostle Gilliam and I was at that prayer breakfast, when I came out of that place where I had been for I don't know how long, while sitting there at the table, the voice in my head, in me, you know, I saw some people talking about where's God and so forth. I'm convinced I know where God is. But anyway, the voice said to me, you must stop lying and tell the truth. You know, when I heard that, I knew I wasn't, you know, lying by commission. I wasn't committing deliberate lies. But a lot of what I ended up learning is that I was lying by omission, because I had not allowed myself to fully learn the truth. I was being indoctrinated from the book called the Bible, and it had tainted. It had actually stunted. I don't want to say tainted. It stunted my spiritual growth. You know, you think that you get more spiritual.
It was the versions presented.
Well, the version, but the version I had, you know, and the word said to me, you must stop lying. You must tell the truth. And then later on, it said to me, you must reawaken minds. That's how House of Reawakening Minds, you know,
as it rise,
had its beginnings, because, you know, God in me spoke to itself and woke it up to the point where I couldn't even do what I was doing before. And like I said, we say that I've said it so many times in preaching, you know, we in the world, but not of it. So it has a different meaning when you come into this truth, this knowledge.
Because truth is the value pushing away lies.
Right. So when
gold is the value and silver pushing away the fiat.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is we had been learning things, or indoctrinated. I was. And not only that, I was indoctrinating others, because as a pastor, apostle, I was a good teacher. But when I realized I was teaching dogma and tried to undo it, you know, the first thing I tried to undo was tithing. And what tithing really was. Well, folks would barely sometimes pay their electric and gas, but they were running there, because the scripture would say, bring me all the tithes into the storehouse, and they be meeting my house, and prove me now herewith that I'm open to you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Yeah. So they thought they were going to get more by giving what they didn't even have. And I got to the point where I was like, you know, then they come back to the church and want to try to get help for the church. And I said, you've been better off keeping it in your pocket before you gave it.
Yeah.
Because you know, you don't give what you don't have. You family and you come first. And I when I started to stand on things like that in a brief time, I didn't have time, a lot of time to give them this truth, because before, and I opened my mouth and it was different than what I had been preaching for 10 years, they were shocked because I had indoctrinated them.
Yes.
You see what I mean? And it's hurtful when you realize you did that to people. And now when you come into the truth, you can't even put the truth in because you put too many lies in.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I had to hear someone said to me, there are people looking for you. I said, nobody looking for me. And there were other folks, there were you all looking for the House of Reawakening Minds to come to life, you know, and it was me needing to meet Sister Zodiacus L, who introduced me to Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey, and then she went off scene. She transitioned because that was the end of her mission. She told me that, you know, I didn't know she was leaving like that, but she said, you know, I'm not coming back no more. I'm finished this, and I had to meet this man. And not that he wasn't already known to many of you, but you became more known, even more known, more widespread, because, you know, somebody has to listen to the truth. Somebody has to walk in a place where, you know, you're shielded from the lies so that you can get the truth and then give that out. You see what I mean? So, you know, I realized that you can be in the world, but not of the world.
That's what it really means.
I
Because what it really means, so the world does not mean the earth itself.
It's a state.
It is the political structure. It's called it has more to do with the anthropological operations on the land, not with the organic people. You know, and this is back to why they don't teach anthropology, geology, geography, you understand, in etymology, orthology, you know, ontology. All of these has to do with both structure on the land and then operations on the land separate from land itself.
Right.
Then social structure with the beings on the land.
Right.
Then organization with the beings on the land, anthropology. Now you're dealing with nations.
Right.
Then you deal with jurisdictions within those venues, etc.
Right. But you know where your attention goes, like we said earlier, is where your energy flows. And if you refuse to feed their circus, then you get to live outside of it. So that's what it means, again, to me, to live and be in this world or in the world, but not of it, you know, really.
And that's a jewel that you're presenting, even in that presentment, Dr. G. Being in the world, but not of it, is not just a spiritual saying. It's actually a geopolitical saying. It's really a geopolitical instruction, actual, right?
Yeah.
It's the state of being. So, and is a jurisdiction of the mind operating on the land, even next to another and a next to another. That's that. So now you have people that can be standing next to each other, no different than people sitting at the table. Yet politically, they were two different jurisdictions.
And what is that scripture that say two would be working to grind together in the field? Two women, one would be taken and one would be left.
It's showing you, that's giving you allegories to show you jurisdiction.
Absolutely.
It's demonstrating jurisdiction, right? So it's giving in a way where a child could understand it, if you get the point. But that's a demonstration of jurisdiction. That is not always distance. It's not always places. Foreign does not always mean distance. Foreign means jurisdiction. Foreign means concept opposites, etc. Honor opposites. Truth and lie on the same table. A gold coin, which is part of the conversation. A coin, an actual coin, no matter what it is, word coin on the table. And then somebody come here and say, oh, here's a Bitcoin on the table. And you say, well, where's it at? Well, it's in your imagination. It's there. And you say, well, I'm looking. I know you dropped this coin, but I've been looking for that Bitcoin that you said you had. Well, it changed value. You mean the shapeshift? Yes, that's where it works. And it's more than dollars in this. And the fact that people have been fell for that, and that they're actually having intelligent conversations about an absolute abstract that fluctuate, which means a shape shifting, goes up and down in value every day, and people will give up their physical gold for it. And it is the most obvious contemptuous lie of modern day. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a function. It has a function because people believe. It shows you the power of belief that they'll take all the wealth from the people, and they actually think they and then the next day, oh, it dropped. And then they start talking about how many dollars it dropped. No, the dollar is the coin. And then they call it a coin, and it's a total abstract. And it changes faces by the hour. You ask them, well, let me see your book. How do you bookkeep it? You can't even bookkeep it. Who's the bookkeeper? You can't even name them. Then they'll make up another one with another name and say, well, this one split and it went over there. And then you lost half your investment. Well, no, the investment you lost was the dollar you gave them in the first place.
I know.
People, their insult, their contempt is so deep for the people. They're seeing how far they can go. This is why somebody like Dr. Pruitt was saying, this is why intelligent people are come rescue humanity. Because, this is beyond the Santa Claus argument with adults, if you get the point. Because a child can recognize, if you put this coin here, and then you put the Bitcoin on there and tell the child, go pick up the coins on there. Well, where's the Bitcoin? I can't find it. It lost value, so it disappeared. But tomorrow it might go back up, and you'll find it on the desk. It ain't going to happen.
Never going to be on the desk.
The fact, it can't be weight. It has no weight. Yes, called a bit, which means a piece. So if it's a piece, that means there's a measure. But then there's no chart that shows you the measure. Then if you see the chart today, it ain't what the chart is tomorrow. But you had to give this up to get that, and then you call this $1? And that's the jewel, Dr. J. And being in the world but not of the is not just a spiritual saying. It is a state of being. It is a jurisdiction of the mind. If you allow yourself to be governed by distractions, you are of the world. If you govern yourself by truth, by nationality, by higher law, you are in the world, but not of it. And when the artificial, anti-constitutional, anti-common.
All right, let's go back and reiterate this real quick. Good point.
Can't find it. It lost value, so it disappeared. But tomorrow it might go back up, and you'll find it on the desk. It ain't going to happen.
Never going to be on the desk.
The fact, it can't be weight. It has no weight. Yes, it's called a bit, which means a piece. So if it's a piece, that means there's a measure. But then there's no chart that shows you the measure. Then if you see the chart today, it ain't what the chart is tomorrow. But you had to give this up to get that, and then you call this $1? And that's the jewel, Dr. J. And being in the world but not of the is not just a spiritual saying. It is a state of being. It is a jurisdiction of the mind.
It is a jurisdiction of the mind. Did you catch that? It is a state of being. It is a jurisdiction of the mind. How do you free somebody that's locked in a prison? Free their mind. Right there. It's a jurisdiction of the mind. All right, here's some more jewels coming.
If you allow yourself to be governed by distractions, you are of the world.
If you allow yourself to be governed by distractions constantly, you are of the world. Right?
If you govern yourself by truth, by nationality, by higher law, you are in the world.
It's not of it. By truth, nationality, and higher law.
But not of it. And when the artificial, anti-constitutional, anti-common sense fiat bond systems collapses, which is doing now, and when the distractions multiply, which are happening right now, and when the empire falls, and it's falling right now, why? Because if the illusion dies, the illusion that's attached to it dies, right? So the only ones who stand will be those who knew who they were, those who are grounded themselves in real value, in reality, in things that are measured, that have breadth, depth, and principle, etc., who refuse to give their attention away cheaply to illusions of shape-shifting instrumentalities that you can't even hold in your hand and say, here's the Bitcoin. And so,
Hey, when the power goes out, you can't come out here in the woods with them Bitcoins. I want to have some copper or some silver in hand.
they give their attention and their own jurisdiction away cheaply. And that is our mandate.
Well, yeah. What do we call this? Parallel timelines, escaping the circus.
Because it's a circus.
The circus of distraction. And I want to close with some practical ways, perhaps, to suggestions to stay grounded. That's what it's all about. And I mentioned this as something I do, at least I try to do, but y'all keep calling me, so I can't, because I can't do this all the time. But take a digital Sabbath, choose a day to fast. We talk about fasting from food. Well, fast from social media, news, the cell phone, if you will. That's a way of, creating a different environment, in a different reality in which to dwell in. You can be selective, with your intake. Don't let the algorithms choose your reality. You choose what you want to read, choose what you want to study. We said, and what you feed your spirit. It say study yourself, right? Know thyself, study yourself, and breathe. Here's one. Breathe before you start scrolling. Like, you take 3 deep, like sometimes, I like to shop, unfortunately. I'm working on it, but sometimes, I'll just put something in a cart just to feel like I've shopped, but I got to take it back out and move away from the page. Because if I didn't, I'd be broke as a joke, feeding everything that jumps up on my screen. And so we have to learn how to say no, to turn away from it, take 3, sometimes send a message. I'll call you back later. Don't engage, especially if it's somebody that's going to take you there, because some calls, I know sometimes that it's going to be a doozy. It's going to drain my energy. It's going to tap into my mental faculties.
It's designed to do that.
I just can't do it. So we have to learn to, and then finally we have to learn how to, I think, build in the real world. You talked about Bitcoin and different things like that, but invest in your health, invest in your wealth. Like I said, I've been telling y'all guys about the, getting your coins through. Some of you are with me and have left Quicksilver, but let me tell you something. I'm going to just throw this up again. When I decided to listen to what you said back 5 years almost now. Matter of fact, it was already 5 years. Yeah, 5 years ago. And to be able to have, significant silver, because I stuck with it. Even if I had to break it down from getting 20 coins a month to getting 1, I still kept getting.
It would cost you more than double right now.
Oh, when I was getting for $22, 23 notes or whatever, now it's 40 some. So
this what they're doing. It went past 50 and they artificially pushed it back down.
Yeah.
And so that let's tell you that is breaking. That is breaking. Now,
but what? I got one gold. Let me say this. I got some fractional pieces of gold, but I did invest back maybe about a couple of years back in a gold coin, it doesn't even, the weight of it isn't even as, doesn't feel as heavy as the silver for some reason. But it's a 1 ounce gold coin, which I purchased for 19 something. It's now worth hitting towards four grand.
Yes.
For that one little coin. So, you know, invest in yourself, you know, get you some silver, get you some gold. Even, you know, I even get something now, Grand Chic. If you open this up, if you can unzip that, you know, for folks that might not be able to, you know, afford, because it's gold is expensive. That's silver, but this, what does that look like? Like a baseball card? This looks like a little baseball cards. And anybody, these look like, and this is gold right here in, where my finger go, in the center. That's that if I had, if stuff goes south and I have to go, so that
anywhere in the world,
that's 1/4 of a grain.
Anywhere in the world,
a quarter grain of gold. There's a quarter grain of gold.
Yes.
I can go shopping with
now.
it.
Let's look at this. Can now?
And
does this crash?
No.
Oh, can it crash?
No.
Anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world.
All right. Let me hold on. Hold your hand open. Hold your hand. Let me see. Hold your hand open. Where's that Bitcoin? No. Where's that?
Where's
the Bitcoin? Can you see it? See it? Wait, the Bitcoin shape shift. Wait, it fluctuated. It went somewhere. Yeah. Right.
What I'm trying to say is, you know, these are reasonable. I think I get 4 or 5 coins, 6 coins a month for like 40 something for this. I mean, it's little, but if I wanted to take my whole gold coin and get a loaf of bread, they take it, but I'm not gonna get no change.
Right.
So I got pieces. I got look like baseball cards. Look at all that. That's gold.
Now, so
all this is gold.
What
this
is
was silver back
now?
then.
What is, when you're looking at what's going on in the world, what is the background that's happening? They're having the politics that are going on right now, and it's back to some of the comprehension Dr. Pruitt will probably be explaining to the people. Then you understand the Sara and Gasara. And it doesn't mean that these people are really honorable. It's that they have no choice. So they have to now use their intelligence and what's left of anybody that wants to kind of stop the world from collapsing. They can't stop collapses. What they have to do is intelligently dismantle, remove. So they're going to have to remove systems and persons without alarming the public. So you have removal and dismantling of systems and persons on a scale that would cause shock and alarm. By necessity, not by bias. If not, they all lose. Do you understand? This is why, as we talked years ago, when we used to have pack house and sometimes not enough chairs. I said 8, 9 years ago for a street, the nations are going to stop buying U.S. Treasury bonds. When
you kept saying, look at Deutsche Bank. You kept saying, watch Deutsche Bank.
Germany.
Yeah.
Because when you see it, most people are already too late. That's the reality. That means people who are going to be thinking, right, to do this, right?
Right.
With the fiat, it's not going to be accepted because it's dead. Are we clear?
Shout out to Dr. Kia. Peace and love to you,
Dr.
sister.
Kia.
Thank you for being in the house, sister.
Yeah, so in other words, at some point, you're not going to be able to buy gold and silver with fiat because it ain't going to be worth shit.
That's right. So you better get it
So
now.
that's what I was saying. Do it now.
Get some
Take
silver
the monopoly
rounds,
money.
some silver rounds, or those little slices of gold, the little tiny ones.
Yeah, the world's smallest gold bar.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Yeah, they were small, but we got it really cheap several years ago. But I don't know how much it is now. It's like a little sliver. But you could, like she said, you could buy things with that. So you have to, if you have a bar,
Copper.
then it's going to be hard to get exchange things, and you might not get change back. So get the little silver rounds, copper, uh, slivers of gold. Yeah.
Yeah, the copper ones are really good.
Yes, and
Little
they
1
said
ounce
that's going to
coins.
go up a lot. The copper.
Right. Also, the actual gold, I mean, the silver dimes and nickels and the copper, those you can get bags of those
Yes.
as well because the Coinage Act comes into play, right?
Yes.
Which is gold and silver coinage only,
Yes.
which is what we'll be reading here shortly. Let me finish this couple more minutes here.
Yes.
We appreciate you. We're big up in you because we realize that you are such an integral part of our survival and our being
Yes.
able to be living in the world but not of the world. And we
Exactly.
appreciate everything
And
that you're doing.
intelligence tells the people how, not emotional.
Right.
See, when she's what does she do? She will break things down, show you documentation, show you that there's a political side of operations that's happening and it's being published, but yet it's not being published by mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
When you know the geopolitics, you will find these things because that's where your head is. It's not that it's not there, but if your head is not there, you don't see it. However, as things collapse, the people can't say they weren't told.
True.
Now, the other interesting thing, and this is what I've always said, Dr. J, the same way someone can go on any one of these sites and see Dr. Pruitt, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what has to stop. People have got to stop making excuses for the politicians, the preachers, the priesthood, who knew this information all the while. And some people may think, oh, because they come here on the House of Awakening Minds, or they go to see Dr. Pruitt, and they think this is some kind of new stuff. It's not new. It's few people are willing to put themselves out there and tell the truth, because you get attacked. This is why a lot of people have the truth. They'll know it, and they'll talk, like in office like this, but they won't get on that hill. They won't get out there in that street. They won't let themselves be seen publicly because they already know the attacks come. Why? Because they know all of these people always knew it. Always knew it. Now, the issue that's happening on the planet is that once the nations took the position that they no longer can sustain the lie because they're collapsing, now they're talking. And then people think, oh, wow, they're being honorable. No, they're not. The same way with a lot of middle-class Europeans are making videos talking about the Republic, talking about Gassara and Nasara. They weren't saying that 10 years ago. Why? Because middle class was still somewhat stable. When it became obvious that they were being thrown under the bus and they can no longer project it to others, if you get the point, and then border people taking our jobs and stuff. They can't get that off anymore. It just doesn't work. And it doesn't matter. So they're telling the truth too. Anyway,
well, listen,
Dr. Brooke, keep up the good work.
We love you. Thank you so much. Listen, we're going to bring this to an end, but I want to thank those of you who the last time we were on, I said there was a meeting coming up, and I was going to a private meeting, or I was going to for invitation only. We had a small meeting, but the meeting that I was talking to you all about is coming up on Sunday. Thank you to all of those who responded with Count Me In. I'm going to put this up here. This is the last opportunity If you want to be part of this meeting, this introductory meeting, which is going to take place on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, text this number, just say count me in and to this number, and you'll get a link. The link will require you to register, but it's free. Just need to put your appellation and an email address. Is just for us. It's just our capture mechanism. And you'll be able to go back to the same link on Sunday at 1 and you'll have access. So this is the last opportunity. The actual meeting is coming up on Sunday. And if you want to be part of that, then please send me a text. Like I said, I've already sent out probably about 100 invites, but if you want to be in it, then please do so. We thank you. We really appreciate your attentiveness and you coming here on the every first and third
sharing
Friday.
with us.
Right. And like I said, on the fourth Fridays, of course, Grand Chic, along with Teaching Lady J and myself, are at the House of Reawakening Minds, live and in living, not color, but we're there in living sentient beings. And if you want to come and be part of it, certainly. I mean, you remember I don't know if Sis is watching, but there was one about 2 months ago. Sis came all the way from London. She for a Friday class. Yeah, she flew in from the UK. And so we, big ups to her for doing that. So, if you're in the tri-state area, or even if you want to come in from Cali or Florida. Sister came up from Florida that same day. Remember, she's all hopped on a plane and I came up at the time.
Chris took a bus from Canada.
Came down to Canada.
Yeah.
So we have a good time, and that's coming up on the fourth Friday of this month. I want to say it's the 25th. Whatever the fourth Friday is, it's the 25th. And if you'd like to be part of that, please do. Come. It's not you don't have to register, just come. We'll open the doors at 6:30 and we're there until we're there until. So I don't know if that's any.
So a shout out again to Dr. Dave, Dr. Iligan.
Right.
Yeah.
Teaching Lady J and Sister Deborah Clark Smith L, who worked us. She worked us. I could feel it the next day. But it was a good workout. It was a good work. It was good work.
Yeah, Sister Cynthia, as usual,
is the she's the organizer. Came all in from she's our
comes in all from Texas,
chairman of the board in Texas, and she handles her business, and I appreciate her. I love her to the as she said, the zircon and back. I appreciate her, but we appreciate each one of you too. We may not know each and every one of you, personally. We may not have had a chance to hug you and all that, but those that were here this weekend, we got a chance to hug on. And I want to thank you all for coming out and for the words we've gotten back of people who really enjoyed themselves. I
believe that's it. There's only another minute left, so go ahead, Miss Dog.
Like
Talk about it.
happening, they're blaming it on the immigrants, right? The immigrants are taking our jobs. Immigrants are doing this. It's not the immigrants. It's not. And it's not working anymore. That's why we said stop blaming immigrants, other people, for what is happening. It's the system is collapsing on itself, right? So they need something to blame it on. So we need to stop that. We need to get
Right.
spiritually ready,
It's the Democrats.
right? Get your house in order, because it's inevitable.
What else did he say about Nasara?
Said about Nasara. Now, this, but he doesn't say all what's going to happen, but he does. He says that the Nasara, they're going to release some money, right? Because not because they want to, because they have to. So what you do with that, and we don't know how much it is, but it will. What you do with that is critical, right? Like he was talking about the digital. You can't do anything with that at all. It's not going to be worth nothing. So get gold and silver because you're going to need it.
Yeah. He also said in other videos that the digital thing may run for a little bit. Don't know how long, but it will crash.
Yeah, it's going to go.
So,
and
who knows?
digital is not going to be worth anything.
Who knows when? But there we go. So here's the Monopoly game, electronic banking.
Play. The object of the game is to have the most money when the last property is purchased. Lay out the board, then
To have the most money when the last. That's the object of the game, is to have the most money. And then what happens? You got to reset the game, don't you?
shuffle the chance deck and place it face down on the board. Place the title deed cards next to their corresponding property space around the board. Each player chooses a token and takes its matching bank card and reference card. Your reference card will indicate the exclusive rewards you can receive throughout the game. Each player places their token on go. There is no paper money. All finances are handled by the banking unit. Press any button on the banking unit to turn it on. To reset the unit to start a new game, press and hold the check and X button for 5 seconds until the unit turns off. Then press any button to turn it on, ready for a new game. Each player.
All right, you see how they resetted it? You have
That's
to turn
how
it
they
off
do it.
and then turn it back on. All right.
Then press any button to turn it on, ready for a new game.
See?
Each player taps the check and X button for 5 seconds until the unit turns off.
Or off
Then press any button to turn it on, ready for a new game.
for a new game.
Each player taps their bank card to the banking unit. Whenever you tap a card, you will hear a sound. If you don't hear a sound, then it didn't work and you will need to tap that card again. Once all the players have tapped their bank cards and are ready, press the check mark and the game will begin, giving each player $1,500. The youngest player goes first, then play proceeds clockwise. On your turn, roll the die and move your piece that many spaces clockwise around the board, then perform the actions as indicated by the space you are on. If you land on an unowned property, you may buy it. Tap the property card, then your bank card. The cost of the property, which is listed on its space on the board, will be automatically deducted from your account. When you purchase a property, place it in front of you. If you don't want to buy a property, then you must auction it. Press the M button until the auction icon appears, then tap the property and press the check. The bidding starts at 10 and increases in increments of 10. To bid, press the M button and read out the new total of the bid. When the time runs out, the winner of the auction taps their bank card to pay. If you don't have enough money to buy a property, the banking unit will make this sound, and the transaction will be canceled. If no player wants to bid, then the property remains where it is. When you land on a property that another player owns, you need to pay them rent if they ask for it. To pay them, tap the property, then tap your bank card. The amount due will be automatically deducted. If you land on or pass go, press the M button until you see the arrow icon, then tap your bank card to receive $200. If you land on chance, draw the top card from the chance deck, read it aloud, do what it says, then tap it. Then tap your bank card to pay or collect money. If another player is needed to collect money with you, then they will tap their card after you, then put the card on the bottom of the deck. If you land on free parking or just visiting, then nothing happens. If you land on a flight space, you may choose to pay $100 to move to any property space on the board. If you don't want to pay and move, then do nothing. Otherwise, press the M button until the flight icon appears and then tap your bank card. If you pass go, do not collect $200. You are not allowed to trade in the game. Instead, the only way to trade is if you land on the forced trade space. When you land here, you may choose any one of your properties and trade it for any opponent's property that you choose. However, you may not trade for a property that is part of a complete colored set. To trade, press the M button until the forced trade icon appears. Then tap the title deed you want from another player, followed by the property you are giving them. Then each player places their new property in front of themselves. If you land on go to jail, then put your token in the jail and do not collect $200 for passing go. To get out of jail, at the start of your turn, you may pay $100, use a get out of jail free card, or roll a 6. To pay $100, press M until the jail icon appears, then tap your bank.
Oh, while you're playing the game, you have the opportunity to go spend some time in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's included in the game, isn't it?
Well,
Oh,
yeah, they're showing you. They have to show you.
so while you're playing the game, you stand the chance of going to jail.
Bank card and roll and move like normal. To use a get out of jail free card, tap the card, then put it on the bottom of the chance deck. Then roll and move like normal. You get
Well, we know who gets those get out of jail free cards, right? So I don't think I need to play anymore. I'm pretty much sure get the point here.
So they're showing you the digital, right?
Right.
That's the thing they're rolling out with the digital ID is going to be like that, right? Everything's going to be on your ID, and if you don't have enough credits, right, you have to be working and earn your credits. You have to be productive to society to contribute. So if you're not working or you're sick, you have to make up those credits, and they watch how you spend those credits and earn them back. So
You remember
that's
that?
what we don't want.
You remember that video where that kid was playing Monopoly with his mom, and she told him to pay up, and he was crying and said,
Mhm.
"What's wrong, Billy?" And he's crying. He's like, "Taxes. I don't want to pay taxes."
Yeah, yeah.
I think even the kid knew, right? Something went right here. I don't want taxes. Anyways, yeah, good point, the sheepdog. All right, so that's that game. We ain't playing Monopoly no more, are we? Y'all want to play
No.
Super Electronic Banking? You want to pick your little what's that? What do you call them? Then you have to roll the die. Why is it a die? Anyways, so we're gonna share these links out. Please, like I said, go to
Yeah,
official House of Reawakening Minds.
watch
You
the
see
whole
down here the
thing.
bell.
Watch the entire thing.
Let me put it right here. Same thing on my YouTube. If you go to this bell notification under the video right here, click this. Make sure you go to all. That way you get the notification whenever the next video drops, because they're few and far between these days with Taj. Uh, but we are grateful for sharing the knowledge with us and putting in 50 years of his life trying to wake people up, and he still has the patience of a saint.
Oh yeah.
Just to serve people.
Very extremely knowledgeable, but he knows exactly what they're doing,
Right.
right? He knows exactly how the plan is. So follow him. A lot of great information.
Research, get the books,
Yes.
get the knowledge, write it down, take notes, go back and listen to it again later. It's never, it constantly is. Even the older videos he's done are timeless.
Right. So, like you said, they're going to start censoring. You see, they're already working towards that by telling you that people are saying bad things on the internet, and we got to stop this. And yeah, so that's going to come and play with you being able to get on the internet. Period.
Right.
Right, with the digital biometrics,
Yeah.
all that.
So we're going to read the Coinage Act real quick. All right. Because that's important, because we don't want to play Monopoly no more, do we?
No, we're done.
You have the Coinage Act. Hold on one second, guys.
I thought you had it. Sorry.
It's okay. I won't tell everybody you dropped the ball. I'll wait it. I'm not muted. What is this? Hold on 1 second. While she's pulling it up, let me try to get this over here.
Yeah.
Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical license has been revoked.
Oh, hell nah, I filed an extension.
Purchase denied. Monthly red meat allowance exceeded. Try mealworms instead.
Can you guys please let me through?
Attention. Unauthorized political gathering detected. Participants' access to financial services has been suspended. Due to the speeding infraction, your car will be immobilized for 3 days.
Fuck you! Take your surveillance policies and rot in hell!
You've earned 50 bonus credits for reporting your neighbor's hateful misconduct. This content exceeds your current social credit tier. May we suggest citizen responsibility? Sarah, open the door. You have been identified by the authorities. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't resist. Good morning, citizens. Your overnight account balances have been updated. Time to start a productive day. Final notice, your account balance is below 500. You need 50 credits by the end of the day to avoid automatic eviction. If you have missed work due to illness, you must provide a doctor's note to reclaim your credits.
Any extra credits? Please.
Tensions are high today, with more people planning to join the Citizens Against Digital Control protest. Remember, the government knows who you are at all times. Resisting is not worth the consequences. All of their newest social credit systems are designed to keep you and your families safe and efficient.
Authorities seized a record balance of an individual's credits, citing excessive hoarding.
Traffic violation detected. 7 miles per hour over the limit. 75 credits have been automatically deducted.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep, you got the flu. Your blood work shows a significant iron deficiency. I recommend incorporating more red meat into your diet.
Dr. Jones, your taxes were not filed and have been automatically deducted with late fees. Your medical
Okay, so
All right.
we don't want it to get to that, right? So we resist at all costs,
To me,
right?
you have constitutionally protected gold and silver coinage only.
That's right.
So we go to the Coinage Act of 1792, right? Okay, there we go. So the Coinage Act of 1792, also known as the Mint Act, passed by the United States Congress on April 2nd, 1792. That's 411. Created the United States dollar as the country's standard unit of money, established the United States Mint, and regulated the coinage of the United States, right? This act established the silver dollar as the unit of money in the United States, declared it to be lawful tender, and created a decimal system for U.S. currency. By the act, the mint was to be situated at the seat of government of the United States. The 5 original officers of the U.S. Mint were a director, an assayer, chief coiner, an engraver, and a treasurer, not the same as the Secretary of Treasury, of course. The act allowed that one person could perform the functions of chief coiner and engraver. The assayer, chief coiner, and treasurer were required to post a $10,000 bond with the Secretary of Treasury, right? So that's the Coinage Act. It talks about the grains. Can't weigh a Bitcoin. Can't measure it. It shape shifts.
Yeah, it's called the shapeshifters.
So we have eagles, half eagles, quarter eagles, dollars or units, half dollars, quarter dollars, dimes, half dimes, cents or pennies, right, and half cents. The act authorized the production of the following coins. It didn't say, wait, let me see if it says Bitcoin. Does it say Bitcoin in front of coins?
No. No, and they said CBDCs. They wouldn't allow CBDCs. Well, they're not calling it that now. They know we know about that. So it's digital currency. Same thing. CBDC is the same thing. It's digital.
Right. So images of liberty would remain as a standard part of the U.S. coinage through the 19th century and into the early 20th. It wasn't until the Lincoln Cent, issued in 1909 to commemorate this centenary of President Lincoln's birth, would a real person be depicted on a U.S. coin. Did you know that? What does it say about? What does it say in the Constitution as well about gold and silver coinage only? Miss Sheepdog, you got that in the Constitution? Let me grab my Constitution real quick.
It's article. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to read it verbatim. All right, let me get this fixed. There we go. Yep. There we go. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Hope that what we
1,
brought,
Section 10.
yeah, Article 1, Section 10.
Clause
Yeah,
1
I want to,
states
I
that
know.
no state shall make anything but gold and silver coin a tender payment of debts. This clause emphasizes the use of gold and silver as the only legal tender.
Article 1, Section 10.
Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1.
There you go. And we are about 2 hours in. I think we brought some pretty good information. I want to thank everybody for their support. And
We need prayers for Scruffy
there you go.
Blue. She's on her way to the hospital. So please keep her in prayer. And if anybody lives in Florida, please reach out to me. If she has to stay overnight, she has animals and nobody around her. So please, please reach out to me.
Anything else? Check out the Sheepdog Swap. Don't forget, we have a Telegram channel specifically for small business or creators, or crafters, writers, you name it. All kinds of different things there, as well as even blankets and stuff like that, handmade.
All sorts of things.
All sorts of things. So let me put up the Telegram link at the top. We also do chats first thing in the morning, or first thing to start the day.
Yeah, we're gonna have a short chat after this, about 30 minutes after we end this, so we can discuss some things furthermore.
Yep. So if you have any questions, please join us in the chat after the show. We have the Telegram QR code at the top left. Right now, you can pause, take a picture, or break out your camera, hold it to it. It'll pull up the link. Just click on it. All right, and that is the Mushroom Ladies QR code, top left, sponsor of the show. And we have, this is the TikTok. That's it. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you in the chat here shortly. Happy 10-4, loud and clear, right? 5x5. Walk by faith, not by sight.
That's right.
Turn video on.
Hey, hey, hey!
Yeah. Still on track. Wheels don't crack. Truth in our bones. We ain't looking back. Fire in the heart. Tribe on the map. We ride with love, but we don't hold back. Came from the corners. Scattered and wide. Strangers at first. Now we walk side by side. We're bloodline claim, but the spirit runs deep. Adopted in honor. Our promise we keep. Tracks got twisted, some folks failed, but we held the line. Truth compelled, the chat was lit, truth got shared. We heal with rhythm, we rose prepared. Now we plant seeds, teach natural law. Truth train, 88 strong, no fatal flaw. Ceremonies rise, lyrics blitz. We ride for peace, but we don't suppress. We ride for freedom, not just escape. We ride for healing, not just survival. We ride for truth, not just talk. We ride for love, the kind that walks. We ride for kindness, peace, and light. We ride for learning what feels right. We ride for sharing, caring grace. We ride for every sacred space. We rise with rhythm, we rise with grace. True train thunder, we set the pace. No change, no fear, just open skies. We build, we bliss, we energize. We learn the old ways, walk the new. We speak with love, but we ride with truth. From scattered sparks to a blazing flame. We're here with strong, truth train 88. Remember the name, still on track. Wheels don't crack, truth train 88. We got each other's back, fire in the heart. Tribe on the map, we ride with love, but we don't hold back. Still on track, no turning around. We rise from the roots, we hold sacred ground. Peace in our steps, in our lane. Troop train 88. Remember the name.